they see themselves in your position and they start visualizing themselves in your situation, in your role. And more often than not, they believe they could do it better than you. People that want to tear you down are generally going to do it from the inside. They're not going to do it from the outside. It's pretty hard to do. Good morning, and welcome to this edition of the Morning Dig podcast. I'm excited to bring this to you because I think this is something we don't talk about enough in society. We don't talk about enough as business owners. And that's the idea that we always look at competitors as like an enemy. We look at them as someone trying to take us down and trying to put us out of business. Now, there might be a handful of them out there, but realistically, most of them don't. A, they don't want you to go out of business. B, they're not malicious. They're just trying to feed their own families. They're trying to keep their teams fed. So it's never really a malicious thing. They're not really your enemy. They're just competing. And competition is what makes people great. So we want them around. And honestly, we want them to do well because it pushes us to do better. They should want us to do well because it forces them to get better. And it's kind of an iron sharpens iron type of situation. Where are the real enemies? In my experience, in more than 10 years in business ownership, plus about 20 total years in corporate world and just professional industry as a whole, it's the people near you. It's going to be people in your staff. It's going to be your friends. It's going to be extended family. People that want to tear you down are generally going to do it from the inside. They're not going to do it from the outside. It's pretty hard to do. But from the inside, where they have access to you, they have knowledge, you're going to open up to them. These are the people that are eventually going to become an enemy, if anyone ever does. I hope for your sake it never happens, but let me tell you, it happens more often than you think. And in my experience, I'm going to give you the number one reason it happens and how to solve that. The number one reason it happens, in my experience, is jealousy, and it's one of two ways. A, they see themselves in your position and they start visualizing themselves in your situation, in your role. And more often than not, they believe, I would say 90% of the time, they believe they could do it better than you. Every single thing you do, they think they could do it better. They don't know why. They probably don't know how, but they are sure of it that they could do it better than you if they were in your position. The second reason they'll do it, and the second way that happens, is you don't give them an opportunity, or you overlook them for something, or you offer some small injustice that, they don't even acknowledge at the time. So you have no idea it happened, but that's, you did something rubbed them the wrong way. And now they've just they've built this up in their head that, you don't care, you're an enemy, you're all these things, and they start trying to take you down from the inside. How do you stop that? In my experience, the number one thing that they'll do is they'll try to sow seeds of dissent with the people in their circle of influence. Unfortunately, that's usually your customers and that's usually your fellow staff. So what I realized is I have to be more present. I have to have more conversations. I have to create relationships with my staff. Not really personal relationships, but I have to at least create a relationship where there's trust. I have to create a relationship where they consistently see my actions, they see the way I talk and how I follow through, and it makes it harder for someone to sow seeds of dissent, even when they're around them way more than you, because of the fact that they don't have anything negative to go off of. They don't have false promises or negative interactions with you. They're not only seeing you when they're in trouble or they need to be coached up. They're seeing you when they're doing things well. They're being complimented. They're being told how good of a job they're doing. They're being shown their bright spots and just having positive interactions with you. If you're the type of boss that is only around when there's a problem, they're going to have a much easier time accepting whatever someone else wants to say about you because they only have neutral and negative interactions with you. So if you're trying to figure out where some leak or rumors are coming from, first and foremost, look in the inside. Don't look outward, look internally. Look within your circle, look within your staff. Try to see if there's someone out there that has something just to gain from tearing you down. And then secondly, start creating those positive relationships with your staff. That's the key to all of this. Consistent positive interactions. I hope that helps. And as always, keep digging in.